Hi, friends. My name is Paula Baruch, as you know, but I wasn't born with that family name. My family were pioneer farmers from Scotland and Ireland, and our name was Barfoot. When I converted to Judaism, I was 19 years old, and I changed my name legally to one of the first Hebrew words I learned, and that kept the first three letters of my family name and connected me to the flow of blessing that was Judaism. So, Baruch is a word that we say so frequently, but perhaps we never stop to really examine what do we actually mean when we say Baruch. Because if Baruch means blessed, then our liturgy is doing something kind of strange, theologically strange. We are blessing God, so let's take a look more closely. There's grammar to consider. The word Baruch is a passive form. It's not mevarech, one who blesses. It's not levarech, to bless, but Baruch, already blessed. And that tells us something important. It's not an action we are performing on God. It's a state of being. In other words, when we say Baruch atah Adonai, we're not saying we bless you. We're declaring that you are Baruch. It's more a theological statement and not some polite formula. So let's look at the shoresh, the root. The root, beit resh, kaf, it's unusually rich. And it carries these three ideas or resonances. The idea of berech, knee, to bend and kneel or make oneself vulnerable. Also, brecha, a pool or a gathering of water, a place where the flow collects. And of course, baracha, a blessing, in which Tanakh is almost always about life, continuity, land, fertility, abundance, and future. And so already the word Baruch is suggesting that blessing is not about power, blessing is about flow. Now, in classical Jewish thought, God is not improved by our words. God doesn't need our praise or our blessing. So what does Baruch atah Adonai actually do? Rabbi Ishmael and some of the later medieval commentators, they point in the same direction. Baruch is performative language. It names God as the source of bracha in our world. And so we might paraphrase it. You are the one to whom blessings flow into reality, or maybe to be more precise, you're the wellspring of life, continuity. We are not blessing God. We're locating ourselves inside that flow of blessings. So that makes me think about source, about makor. Why say Baruch and not makor habracha, the source of all blessings? And that's because Jewish prayer, I think, doesn't just teach ideas, it's also training us posture. So remember that other root meaning knee. The word Baruch is quietly placing our body right in the liturgy. To say Baruch is to say we are softening, we are bending, acknowledging that we're not the source, that the body hears what the mind sometimes can resist. And there's a subtle linguistic detail. Notice we almost never say Baruch Adonai. We always say Baruch atah Adonai. Second person direct address. Blessing in Jewish prayer is not abstract theology. It's about relationship and presence. Bracha happens not when God is defined, but when God is addressed. In our rabbinic work, we may be visiting those in a hospital room. We may be giving a motzi. We may be at a funeral. We may be at a simcha, at a wedding. So I want you to think about what changes for you if you imagine Baruch not as praise, but as re-entering the flow of life in that moment. People, as we know, in pastoral situations, in times of hardship and struggle, they have such a challenge to say any word about God. They're not sure where God is in their challenges. But maybe we can share that Baruch is not necessarily a claim of how things are going. It's a claim about where life can still come from, where it does come from. And that can make Baruch, the word Baruch, one of the most spiritually resilient words in our tradition. You can say Baruch even when nothing feels blessed. I hope you have a beautiful day.